Hey there, what's happening? This is Eric and
Victoria.
And we are coming at you live from our home office in beautiful Marietta, Georgia. And so the topic of this evening is how to increase the persuasion in your business. Increase it. I mean, you know, we're in the type of business where if you're not persuasive, you're pretty much dead in the water, right? And so it's so important. That's one of the things that we constantly have to work on. You know, when you talk about Stephen Covey always talking about sharpening your saw, and that's when you're always getting it better at what you do. You want to constantly find ways to build your business stronger, and you got to learn how to be persuasive. It's just, you know, a lot of people like to say, well, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not in sales.
Children are the best salespeople.
Right? But you know what? By definition, you are a salesperson. You are a distributor for your business.
There's always room for improvement.
And you're encouraging people to purchase products or purchase information or purchase ability to become part of your team.
You probably sold somebody on a movie you went and saw last week.
So part of that process is sales. And you know what? You can't have sales without persuasion. And so I'm going to one of the top authors when it comes to expertise in the area of persuasion. And that is Mr. Russell Brunson, who is one of the foremost experts in online marketing and marketing in general. And I wanted to look at his book called Expert Secrets. And in a particular section, he talks about how to become persuasive. And he relies on a gentleman named Blair Warren. And he did a study called the One Sentence Persuasion. It's a course. It's a one sentence persuasion course. And he said if you do certain things, you can become extremely persuasive with just one sentence. But there are basically five things you have to do. 5 things you have to do to become persuasive. And let's go through these real quickly. First, number one, when you're talking about your tribe, the people you want to follow you, right? One of the things you have to do is encourage their dream. So that's number one, encourage their dream.
1 of 5.
So if you're doing your job as a leader that's persuading others, one of the things you have to do, you have to encourage their dream. Not your dream. You got to encourage their dream.
It's not about your dream. It's their dream.
It's not just about, you know, showing them how successful you are, how many checks you have, how much money you're making.
You know, that's a turn on.
It's not about that.
It's not about that.
It's about showing them how they can become from point A to where, basically to where you are, because they're following you.
That's right.
I mean, when you think about the people that you want to become part of your tribe, they're basically people that are going through the same experience you went through before. In other words, they're following you along the same path you're walking on, and they're learning from the expertise that you're dropping along that path.
Yeah, can you believe it? You're an expert. Yeah, you forget. You're an expert.
You are the expert.
You are the expert.
So you're helping them to avoid those pitfalls by saying, okay, when you get to point C, watch out. Don't step into that hole or you're going to fall, right?
Yeah,
so they're
like a landmine.
They're following you. They're telling you where the landmines are, right?
Boom.
But they're also helping you to get to that dream. Their dream, not your dream. Again, their dream.
Their dream.
So,
it's not about you. It's about what they want.
So again, you have to encourage them to follow their dream.
That's the first of 5.
And see, you know, the thing is, what happens with a lot of people, probably most people you talk to, they had big dreams when they were kids, right? You know, they were going to become the first astronaut, or they were going to become an inventor, or they were going to have $1 million business, right? And in a lot of instances, they were discouraged by the parents that tried to get them to have more realistic dreams.
Practical.
Right? Yeah. Why don't you become a doctor or a lawyer?
Or just be a plumber or electrician.
Yeah.
I mean, just practical.
Yeah. Work, you know, get a good education so you can get a good J-O-B. Let's everybody say it. J-O-B.
J-O-B.
Right? Yeah. And so what happens to a lot of people, though,
their dreams diminish
when they get out there,
yeah.
and then they hear from somebody else that, like, the dream is not quite dead. It's just, it's just kind of in a comatose state, right?
Yeah.
And then they hear from somebody that says, well, wait a minute. Now, your dream, the dream that you've been thinking about all this time, is for real. You can really have that dream. Now, what happens to those parents in relation to that other voice you hear? The other voice sounds much more authentic because there's something inside of you that knows one of the reasons God placed you here on earth was to fulfill that dream.
It's a purpose that everybody has a calling and a purpose.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody does.
So as a leader who is going to have a huge following, you have to have the ability to encourage people that their dreams can be attained. Their dreams are for real.
And it can happen.
So that's number one.
Yep, it's one of 5.
Number two,
you
have to justify their failures. Yep. Now, one of the things he talks about in the book is, Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil encourages people to own their failures, right? But that's not what's going to create a following for you.
Yeah.
As a leader, you got to let people know that they are not responsible for their failures.
No, they're not.
And so one of the things is it kind of makes a light pop up in their head when they think, they're kind of down on themselves. They think, I just haven't made it. I haven't accomplished anything.
We've all experienced that before. We've all had our pity party. All of us have.
But then when somebody comes by and says, well, now, wait a minute. You're having a pity party, but it's really not your fault. And then to take it to the next level is, this is the reason why you're at where you're at now. Wow. Because then that person's eyes open up and they're like, well, wait a minute. What else can you tell me? You're helping me out a lot. Let me know that I'm not really a jerk. I haven't wasted 5 years of my life for no reason. Here's the reason. And then they want to know what you have to say. They're looking to follow you. Very, very powerful stuff, right? Number 3, you have to allay their fears.
3 of 5.
Now, most people are living through fear. The majority of people.
Yeah.
And the reason the majority of people are not successful is that they have a fear of something. And it's usually that fear of something is the very thing that's holding them back.
Maybe the fear of the unknown.
Maybe the fear of the unknown.
Maybe the fear of success.
Maybe it's the fear of talking to people. Yeah. How many people go from training class to training class to training class and never activate what they actually learn?
That's right.
Because they're afraid of dealing with people. They're afraid of picking up the phone. They're afraid of talking
fear
to
of rejection.
They're afraid of talking to, there are a lot of people that when someone buys their product and they're like, oh my God, now I got to actually talk to them. That's a fear that a lot of people have. And it's usually that very fear that you have could be the very one thing that's keeping your business in check, that's keeping your business from exploding. And if you can overcome that one fear, oh my gosh, the sky's the limit.
You'll be unstoppable.
The sky is absolutely the limit.
Once you get over that hurdle, baby, Katie, bar the door.
Now
take ownership of it.
Here's number 4. Confirm their suspicions.
Number 4 or 5.
Now this is part of building your tribe. You want to confirm their suspicions. In other words, they're thinking, okay, I know it's not just me. Have you ever had that feeling? This can't just be me. There's got to be
only one going through this.
A lot of people say, why me? Why me?
Why me?
Right?
Why me?
And if somebody can tell you why you, oh my God, you're going to, of course, listen to them, right? Then they become a leader in your eyes. So it goes into understanding your market.
Expert. Yep.
Understanding your market. Understanding your target market.
Understanding your audience.
What are their problems? what are the causes of those problems. You got to get to the root cause.
You got to drill down and find out. It's called asking questions.
If you can show them the root cause of their problem, they're gonna like, oh, well, this person is someone that can help me. If they understand the root cause of my problem, chances are they're gonna have a lot more credibility.
That's right.
So again, get down, let them know, confirm their suspicions. Now, once you give them the root cause of their problem, they're gonna say, I knew that's what it was. I knew that's the reason that I was being held back, right?
Yep.
And so they're going to want to, again, you're elevating, you're becoming elevated as a leader by doing these things. And when you can confirm their suspicion, regardless of what it is, if you look at any strong leader that's got a strong following, you got people following them like crazy, that leader has confirmed their suspicions. That doesn't mean that the confirmation is true. They may not be telling them the truth. They may be telling them a big fat lie. Not all leaders are good.
No. We've had some leaders in history that weren't so great.
You had some leaders that became strong leaders because they had a strong and fervent following. But that doesn't mean that they were telling them the truth. What they were doing was they were pointing over there. And this is, that's the reason for your problem. And people said, I knew that was the reason. I mean, think about some of the strongest leaders in history and think about their followers.
Yeah.
And think of how they pointed to something and said, that's the reason why you're in the situation you're in.
That's right.
That's a very, very powerful thing.
That is very powerful.
And then finally, number 5.
The last one, 5.
You're going to throw rocks at their enemies. Now that sounds like a horrible thing to do.
Sounds kind of violent to me.
It sounds like a horrible thing. But you know what? Suppose their enemy is just lack of expertise in the area, right? You want to throw rocks at it. So again, this is a tool to be utilized for the betterment of industry so that you can actually help people. It's like a tool. It can be used for good.
Or it can be used for evil.
Right.
And that's a very good point.
I mean,
hopefully the leader you're following is a good person.
I mean, Adolf Hitler did all of those things, but he used it for evil.
Right.
Like Dr. Evil. He did it for evil,
You
right?
can tell he likes watching movies.
So you don't want to use it for evil. You want to use it for good, right? Because you want to use it to help people, to help better their situation,
right.
to help them get out of a rut, to help them achieve their goals.
You want to help contribute to someone's blessings in their life.
Because think about it. Those people have a lot in common with you.
That's right.
They were you maybe 5 years ago.
Maybe even 5 months ago.
Or maybe 5 weeks ago.
Or 5 days ago.
5 days ago. Or in some cases, 5 hours ago, right?
That's right.
If you get the right bit of training, you can help somebody.
You sure can.
That didn't go through that training.
That's right.
And you could possibly become their leader. So with
They're
that,
expert.
So hopefully you find this training valuable. If you'd like additional information about the information we're providing, simply type info in the comments below. Right? And so with that, this is Eric and Victoria. We're here Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m.
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
That's right.
And so we hope you're having a great evening. If not, let's make it a great one.
And remember, excellence always prevails.